Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Proktam Hi Lokasya Pramanam Satyalok Athajani Maya Tubhyam Yad Avochamritam Mune Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Proktam Hi Lokasya Pramanam Satyalokike Athajani Maya Tubhyam Yad Avochamritam Mune
Shri Bhagavan
Shri Bhagavan
Maya Proktam Hi Lokasya Pramanam Satyalaukike Adhajani Maya Tubhyam Yalavo Chamritam Mune Shri Bhagavan Maya Proktam Hi Lokasya Pramanam Satyalaukike Adhajani Maya Tubhyam Yalavo Chamritam Mune
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Maya, by me, Proktam spoken, he, in fact, Lokasya, for the people, Pramanam, authority, Satya, spoken scripture, Lokike, and in ordinary speech, Atha, therefore, Ajani, there was birth of Maya by me, Tubhyam to you, yet that which avojam I said, Ritam true, Mone said. The personality Godhead Kapila said, whatever I speak, whether directly or in the scripture, is authoritatively in all respect for the people of the world. O Muni, because I told you before that I would become your son, I have descended to fulfill this truth. The purport, O great sage, you want to act, and this is the purport. Kada Muni was to leave his family life to completely engage in the service of the Lord. But since he knew the Lord himself as Kapila had taken birth in his own and his awesome, why was he preparing to leave home to search out self-realization or God-realization? God himself was present in his home. Why should he leave home? Such a question may certainly arise. But here it is said that what is spoken in the Vedas and what is practiced in accordance with the instruction of the Vedas is to be accepted as authority in society. Basic authority says that a householder must leave home after his 50th year. Panchodhavam vanam rajiv. One must leave his family life and enter the forest after the age of 50. This is an authoritative statement of the Vedas based on the division of social life into four departments of activity: brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. Karda Muni practiced yoga very rigidly as a brahmachari before his marriage, and he became so powerful and attained so much mystic power that his father Brahma ordered him to marry and beget children as a householder. Kardama did that also. He begot 9 good daughters and one son, Kapila Muni, and thus his household duty was also performed nicely, and now his duty was to leave. Even though he had the Supreme Personality of God as his son, he had to respect the authority of the Vedas. This is a very important lesson. Even if one has God in his home as son, one should still follow the Vedic injunction. It is stated, Mahajano yen gatha sapanta. One should travel the path which is followed by great personalities. The other Muni example is very instructive, for in spite of having the Supreme Personality of God as his son, he left home just to obey the authority of the Vedic injunction. Kadamuni states here the main purpose of his leaving home. While traveling all over the world as a mendicant, he would always remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart and thereby be freed from the anxieties of material existence. In this age of Kali Yuga, sannyas is prohibited because persons in this age are all Shudras and cannot follow the rules and regulations of sannyas life. It's very commonly found that so-called sannyasi are addicted to nonsense, even to having private relationships with women. This is an abominable situation in this age. Although they dress themselves sannyasi, they still cannot free themselves from the four principles of sinful life, namely illicit sex life, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. Since they are not free from these four principles, they are cheating the public by posing as swamis. In Kali Yuga, the injunction is that no one should accept sannyas. Of course, who actually follow the rules and regulations must take sannyas. Generally, however, people are unable to accept sannyas life, and therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stressed, Kalau nasti, nasti, nasti gatinanta. In this age, there is no alternate, no alternate, no alternative to chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. The main purpose of sannyas life is to be in constant company of the Supreme Lord, either by thinking of Him within the heart or hearing of Him through your perception. In this age, hearing is more important than thinking, because one thinking may be disturbed by mental agitation. But if one concentrates on hearing, he will be forced to associate with the sound vibration of Krishna. Krishna and the sound vibration of Krishna are not different. So if one loudly vibrates Hare Krishna, he will be able to think of Krishna immediately. This process of chanting is the best process of self-realization in this age. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya preached it so nicely for the benefit of all humanity. Shri Prabhupada ki Om Gyantimarantasya Gyanam Jana Shalakaya Chakshumanitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamiyam Vadanti Savadantika Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakam Shri Guru Vaishnavamcha Shri Rupam Sagyata Ganarunātam Vitam Tam Tadivam Savadetam Savadutam Varijanasetam Naketan Deva Shri Radha Krishna Radha Sadhana Lalita Shri Shakam Namo Vishnupadaya
Krishnaya
Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachari Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashadiri Shatari Namo Mahavadanaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurata
He
Krishna
Krishna
Karuna
Karuna
Sindhu
Sindhu
Bandhu
Dinabandhu
Jagatpate
Jagatpate
Gopesha
Gope
Gopika Tapta
Taptakanchana
Kancana
Gaurani
Gaurani Radhe
Radhe
Vrindavaneshwari
Vrindavaneshwari
Vishvanu Sate Devi Pranamami
Pranamami
Mancha
Vancha
Kalpa
Kalpatarubhyascha
Tarubhyascha
Kripa
Sindhubheva
Sindhubheva
Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Namo
Namah
Jai
Jai
Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda
Shri
Shri
Advaita
Advaita
Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaurabhaktavrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So just 5 minutes before 8 o'clock, I came to know that today no speaker is scheduled. So I just had to give the class there. So let us see some of the Acharya's purports on this chapter. So here Vishnu Thakur says, so Lord is saying to Kadamuni that I promise that I'll come as your son. And I came as your son, I fulfilled my promise. O great sage, you want to act according to my wish. Since I have said it is necessary to worship me, giving up everything. That is the food for the people. This applies to worldly and ultimate affairs. The worldly principle of taking a wife, stated by Manu and others, is the authoritative statement concerning worldly affairs. The uncommon principle, however, is to attain me. This is also an authoritative statement of the people uttered by me concerning the highest principle, Bhagavad Dharma. Even ignorant eventualities can very easily come to know Supreme Lord if they adopt this means. Those means prescribed the Supreme Lord. The process to come by the Lord is to be known as Bhagavad Dharma. Therefore, you have considered things properly in giving up everything and departing. He gives an example of his own words being authoritative. I took birth because I said to you that I would be a son. That is the truth. And Lord says, I have again come to take this path. Now, being sanctioned by me, go as you desire, surrendering all your activities to me, conquering insurmountable death, worship me for eternal life. Just as you're asking to go, I'm asking you to stay. It would be harsh for me to tell you to go. And even if you stay here, your desire will be fulfilled. If you're determined to go, so Lord is telling to Kardama, so Lord is born. So Lord is telling to Kardama, just as you're asking to go, I'm asking you to stay. It would be harsh for me to tell you to go, and even if you stay here, your desire will be fulfilled. If you're determined to go, then go as you wish. Worship me for immortality. This recalls the Shruti text, Avidyayamritam Tirtha Vidyamritam Ashmate. By karma, cross over obstacle and when knowledge attain eternal life. Or you will not have birth again because of my association. Since you will have attained a position as my associate, having birth only in sand, that Rama and Krishna take birth, though they are without
Death.
death. So serving me is self-fulfillment, dwelling in the hearts of all living beings, Antaryami in your heart by intelligence, free from limitation, you will achieve fearlessness. So Kardamuni is going, right? And I will give to my mother the knowledge which ends all karmas, by which she will also attain fearlessness. Because I am the Lord, acting as her son, you do not have to worry about what will happen to Devoti, your wife. I will take care of her, you go and take sannyas. Such a nice son. And Kapila had spoken him in this way, Kardama please circumvented and left for the forest. Accepting the vow of silence, taking absolute shelter of the Lord, he wandered around earth alone, without fire and without shelter. So here an amazing purport, Shababa is saying, the Kardamuni, son is the Supreme Lord. Why should he leave the home? सिर्फ किसी के घर में भगवान ही आ जाए तो भगवान को पाने के लिए why should he go to forest? Amazing, no? It is. So you will go to forest to see the Lord, and Lord has come in the house of Kardamuni, and Kardamuni is going to forest. Any answer for this? Okay, first we'll take from the those who are online. Yes, goes on to any answer why Kardamuni is going to forest if Lord has come in his home. Go on from okay. Yeah.
Two reasons here. First one is that Kadamuni was in Dasya Rasa. So now if the sun is at the side, to worship him in Vatsalya Rasa becomes tough. So he naturally adopted Dasya Bhav, which is very easy to worship him when he goes to forest, not staying at home. And second reason is he wanted to, as per the Vedic life, the Vedic injunctions, as soon as one enters sannyas ashram, he should not stay at home. He has to go to forest.
No, but he has not accept sannyas, no. If he wishes, he may not accept sannyas. So, one other reason I heard, you see, no matter even the Supreme Lord is there at the home, Kardamuni would be busy with the household duties. So he wanted to completely absorb in the Lord, the path of the Paramhamsas. So he left for the forest. Because he was not in a Vatsalya. So he's not able to absorb himself in a Vatsalya. And that's why he's not able to do. Because Lord is not in Aishwarya, Lord has come as his son. So therefore, to meditate on the Supreme Lord, what the Paramahamsas do, Kardamuni left to the forest. And Prabhupada is saying two things here in the Prabhupada. So this shows that you should follow the Vedic injunctions. Go to forest after 50 years. And then Prabhupada is saying in this age nobody could take sannyas because people in name of sannyas keep another woman. And that creates more problem for the society. Instead, one should sit and chant the holy names of the Lord. Because the purpose of sannyas is to remember the Supreme Lord always. And the purpose is easily solved by chanting the holy names of the Lord. And those saying to think of the Lord is very difficult. Think of the Lord is difficult because the mind gets agitated. But when you're loudly chanting the holy names of the Lord, what happens? The mind gets fixed there. So the whole purport, what is saying that in this, see, proper purport will talk about the Vedic, how the Vedic system was, and how going there, how after 50 years one should take Vanaprastha, should not stay in the home. Because the purpose of life is to prepare to go home back to garden. And the life should be arranged in such a way that the purpose is properly clear for a person. That the aim of life is to go home back to garden. And the story of Ratnavali Mataji, Raghav Das Brahmachari, when she came to know she was Raghav Das, she became very serious in her spiritual life. Keep that okay. Last life, I made a mistake. So I become I got another birth. But this life led me the last life. So she became very serious after knowing that how last life she was a devotee and this life she wants to make it the last birth. So therefore, as devotees, the serious here Kardamuni also is very serious about his spiritual practice. Even the Supreme Lord has come, but he didn't want to enjoy his household life, but want to go and become a sannyasi, being fully absorbed in the Supreme Lord. And just think of the absorption of Kardamani. Because for 10,000 years he did tapasya, then the Lord appeared. He saw the Lord before also. And 10,000 years he was doing tapasya. And the Lord appeared as his son for Kardamba. And now Kardamani is going to the forest to retire. Yeah.
Like when Lord Kapila appeared, that Krishna was small
We've not seen any small age photo of Lord Kapila, right?
that we did not have outside when Kapila was instructing his mother, he was an adult. So
Yeah, so not directly grow, but son is son, even you grow. If still parents, you become 40, also parents will say, beta, बच्चा हो अभी तुम्हारे सामने. That does not go. बच्चा बच्चा ही रहता है.
when Kardama still stayed back till they became old. Till then he was not showing loss.
And he is a more in a bhav, more meditating upon the Lord.
Yes.
Not actively serving the Lord as a father. Like Nanda Baba and Yashoda, they're actually eternal mother and father of the Lord in Vatsalya Bhav. So for them, see, very amazingly, even Vasudev once was thinking, "Ki I'm bound. I'm in family life, whether I attain liberation or not." Then Narada comes and talks to him. And Narada tells him, "Your son is the Supreme Lord, why you worry about it?" But Vasudeva is thinking, this is the Lord's Yoga Maya. So Vasudeva is thinking whether I will be liberated or not. And then Narmani started to tell so many stories to Vasudeva. The Navyogendras and everything he started telling. So because they are into so much of parental love, very Yoga Maya. So liberation already done. But now Kadamuni's case, he was not into Vatsalya Bhav. And as a set example, he went to do austerity. Other people will think, okay, he stayed back for his son, we will stay back for our son in that age. And he was one of the first sons of Brahma, Prajapatis. See, Kardamuni's situation was very different than us. One thing, he didn't have so much desire to marry. Because Brahma had told to begot son, he married. Because only just giving one son, he left. He did not enjoy household life with Devati, Kardamuni. So he mainly wanted, so what Kardamuni said, I'm not as exalted as Chatushkumar is. So I will follow your order. Chatushkumar was very exalted, so they did not follow the order of Brahma to get married. But I am not so exalted, so I would get married, but I will not enjoy household life. And Kardamuni was one of the first people in this Kalpa who were produced. Now, the first person only enjoy household life, then in name of being that Lord has come my son, then everybody else will say, yes, this is a way of life. But Kardamani is setting example, no matter whatever happens, we should go and renounce. So he's setting up an example. So as devotees, it is very, very important for us to set a good example. Then only preaching can happen properly. Like we come for morning program on time, we try to chant good rounds. Then others will also give emphasis. The people whom we are cultivating, they will also give emphasis on chanting nicely. But we ourselves do not take any action for our chanting, the sleeping. They don't set a good example. Then, same way, parents, if they do not set a good example in the home, the children will not take seriously. They say, oh, you tell us to practice chant Hare Krishna, but I see you both of you are fighting. If after chanting Hare Krishna, I see both mother and father are fighting, why should I chant Hare Krishna? So setting an example becomes a very proper thing in the society. And Kadamani not only did, for setting example, he was happy in constantly absorbing the law in the form of yogic meditation. That was the way Kardamani practiced bhakti. So Kardamani left. So then goes to Shreya. setting example is very important in practice. Like many of the great souls, they actually need not come to the morning program. They already transcended, but they come to set up an example. If you see Jayapadaga Maharaj, now do you think he does need to do Bhakti Vaibhav? He already crossed Chaitanya Charitamrita realizations, he's in that pastime. So he's doing it to set example for us. So great souls do things to set example, protects for others. So to set that example, Kardamani is leaving his household duties and going to the forest. So the chanting is supposed to produce absorption of the Supreme Lord. In this verse, we're saying that in Kali Yuga, no need to take sannyas, but chant the holiness of the Lord, because chanting produces remembrance of the Lord, which is the purpose of sannyas. And that's why the meditation upon the Lord, it increases when a devotee. So Kadamani states here the main purpose of leaving home while driving all the world is a mandate who remember the Supreme Personality God within heart and they were freed from all anxiety of material existence. So as devotees, as our time progresses, our remembrance of Krishna should increase. Now some devotees artificially try to go and remember the Lord. So I was talking with one devotee, he was saying, see, some people, only advanced devotee can do something consistently in bhakti. Or if somebody is opposing him, then only he will be able to do consistently. In two cases, people will do able to do bhakti consistently. One case, if somebody is very advanced, then they will be able to do. A second case, if they are being opposed.
If they're being
Opposed. And that's why more the boys are opposed by their parents to do bhakti, more they do it. And if devotee parents are devotee and they said, oh, do bhakti, children don't do it. So whatever is opposed, people do it more better way because they take it on the ego. So sometimes devotees who find oppositions, especially become strong devotees, they don't succumb to that opposition. They take it a great challenge. It is very well. And it happened also. My sister was telling that no, I took electrical because we used to say you cannot do it, take computer science. So to just to prove she took electric. So mentality of people is to prove they do things. Any other question?
sannyasis is usually they're old, age is old.
Hmm.
So many times it is like sannyasis, be careful with women, be careful with women, everywhere. How will they become so rude with women? Because usually they're old.
No,
and
it's
not
just
just old means the desires are gone. Desires may be there, lust may be there, but still the facility to enjoy is not as much as in youth.
see, it's not necessary that one has to take sannyas at 75 only. If somebody is not married, he can directly take sannyas. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Though he was a grahastha, he took sannyas at the age of 24. So he was very young. Even Prakashana and other sannyasis, not that they were very Buddha and sannyas they took. They never married probably. Okay. So there were both type of sannyasis. Sannyasis who never married who became direct sannyasi, and the sannyasis who married and became sannyasi. There. So even those who married and at a young age became sannyas is always a danger, no? There. And Maya is so powerful. Like Garampa was saying. Previously, we used to think that people only get married at the age of 45, but there are cases where brahmacharis got married when at the age of 55. So saying there is no age. So there is no age, Garampa was telling. Sometimes people not marry just to enjoy, but they marry just because they're feeling lonely. They have not understood the Paramatma in the heart. There's a Prabhupada saying that sannyas is not meant for Kali Yuga. People generally don't follow rules and regulations. Even the simple principle, no illicit sex, no meditating, no intoxication, no gambling. Yes. Any other question?
In ISKCON, for preaching purpose, married person can take sannyas. If it is qualified.
No.
See, proper times, proper gave sannyas to many married devotees. Gopal Krishna Maharaj was married. Chandamani Maharaj was a brahmachari, got married, took sannyas again. Tamal Krishna Maharaj was married. Tasad Maharaj, Indev Maharaj. So all these Maharajas were married and Prabhupada gave them sannyas. And currently in ISKCON, taking sannyas, what to say after marriage, even for a brahmachari, is not easy. Like Bhaktividas Maharaj came in Tirupati. So Rupeshwar Chaitanya Prabhu was there, saying, one of you should take sannyas and preach. But it will take 5 years, even if process now, we may not be there on the planet Earth by that time. So currently taking sannyas has become very difficult even for brahmachari, what to say for grasta. Proper disciple. Proper disciple. Bhakti Madhuri Granth. So many are there. But in Vedic time, it was quite common for brahmanas to take sannyas by the age of 75 and things. They were saying that's not required. So it's not like a common regulation that's with people to take sannyas. Vedic time, it was a common regulation that brahmanas, see, Vaishyas will not go vanaprastha. Wife and husband will go and live in a holy place. They not go in the forest. They cannot do that austerities. Kshatriyas will go to one and do austerities. They will go up to vanaprasthas. They may not take sannyas. But Brahmanas will take sannyas in the Vedic time. And it was a regular phenomenon that all Vaishyas will go and stay in a holy place. All Kshatriyas will go to forest and retire. And all the Brahmanas will take sannyas, which is not possible in the age of Kali. That's what this means, karma sannyas. And it is to be karma sannyas. Karma sannyas means they will not lit fire, on that. But in Kali Yuga, that's not recommended as a general method. And so as a general method, there will be people who will practice and grow bhakti in a grasa setup. Yeah, so it's a karma sannyas and a tridandi sannyas in a Vaishnava Sampradaya. In a Vaishnava Sampradaya, the three tridandi sannyas is karma, vacha, mansa. That I offer my mind, words, and body to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Vaishnava sannyasi can cook also for the Lord. A Vaishnava sannyasi can do activities. But a karma sannyasi is a person leaves everything. He doesn't cook for himself. And he's just reading scriptures and giving classes, that's all. But you see, in a Madhva Sampradaya, even after this Vaishnava sannyas, But these sannyasis, you don't find sannyasis doing management. Sannyasis would be wholly busy in deity worship. And then sannyasis, yeah. Of course, Sri Sampradaya, I recently went. My mother, parents are initiated in Sri Sampradaya. So one sannyasi I met there, who was a CA. He is a nephew of the Guruji, of my mother's Guruji. So my mother Guruji at the age of 8 only, he left his home. He was born in Barsana, left his home, went to Rishikesh, went to his Guru and took sannyas. And from there he is sannyasi, brahmachari sannyasi. But this boy is of my age only, or maybe younger, and he was doing CA in Delhi. And then he was inspired by his chacha nahi Tauji, who became sannyasi, and he also now became a sannyasi. But he was doing little management for Guru's Bhagavad Saptam. So he was asking me, how many shlokas you know? I said, no, we generally don't preach the shloka, we preach in English. There. So, but then I was telling you are from childhood like this. He said, no, I was also CA, I also was like you, and became a sannyasi. I said in our sampradaya, above 25, there is no point of wearing saffron. Indirectly, you're giving sannyas. There's no point of brahmachari above 25. Either take sannyas or marry. So the Vedic time, you don't generally find brahmacharis beyond 25. Of course, during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's example, like Gadadhar Pandit was a brahmachari. Sarup Damodar took sannyas but did not took the name of sannyas, something there. They dress as sannyas and take there. So therefore, there are different examples in the Vedic culture. But that time the things were very proper. And people were born in a Vedic. See, just think about the situation there. Till the time people got married, they might not have seen a woman in a lesser clothes. Unless people married those time, they might not have seen any woman with a lusty eye also, because there was no woman with like the today's way, half dress and everything. So unless people got married, I was talking to one brahmachari who was from Tamil Nadu. He said, we never had movies and things. He's older brahmachari. And he saw every woman as mother and sister. There's no other consideration. And this brahmachari doesn't have much sadhana also, but he's a brahmachari because he's born in that culture. So Vedic culture things were much easier. Now you see what kind of exposure is there to children. Even 7th class children are watching pornography on a smartphone. Spoiled for them. Even parents don't know that our child is doing that. And they were doing in the school. So much. I remember when I was in 7th class, we would see girls like some other friends. Means I don't find any difference between girls and I was there in 6th, 7th class or 6th class. I remember I would play with girls and I not understand only this is a girl or this is a boy. What's a girl? What's a boy? That understanding was not there only. And I would play more with girls than the boys also. Because I didn't find any difference between the thing. Only when we come in 9th, 10th class, then we understand there is some difference there. But the Vedic time things were very pure. People don't talk about so much sexuality and all that thing. The cinema was not there, which glamorizes this body relationships. So that was not there. So people were kept quite pure. And there were proper gurukuls. Because if you read Vedas and serve a guru, then naturally that desire is purified. So then people very purely follow the things. But in Kali Yuga, the impression people get in the chant is very horrible. Yes, any other question? Otherwise, we end here. So,